All right, let's talk about something that's on every small business owner's mind: automation. But, there are these huge myths floating around that stop so many of us from even trying it. Today, we're going to bust those myths wide open.
So you're thinking about automating some stuff in your business, right? But then that little voice of doubt creeps in. Does it ever whisper things? Maybe a little something like this?
Yeah, if you just nodded along to any of those, trust me, you are in good company. These are the exact roadblocks that pop up for almost everyone. But here's the thing, they're just myths. And we're about to tackle the first and maybe the biggest one right now. Okay, first up, the too techie myth. This is the idea that automation is just for coders. This one, man, this is probably the biggest hurdle for people. You got this picture in your head that to automate anything, you've got to be a coding genius or have a whole AT department on standby. But honestly, the world has completely changed, and that's just not true anymore. Just look at the difference. 10 years ago, yeah, it was complicated. You needed to know code. But today, it's a whole new ballgame. We're talking no-code, drag-and-drop tools. These things are built for us, the business owners, not for software developers. And look, this isn't just some marketing talk. Let's take a real-world example. Meet Dr. Mei Lin. She's a dentist, not a techie. She was 100% sure she'd have to hire someone to set up automatic appointment reminders. But you know what? She tried out one of these new tools, and she herself built a whole system in less than an hour. So what happened next?
Boom, a 47% drop in missed appointments. Just think about that for a second. That's a huge deal for any practice. It's real money, real impact on our business, and she didn't write one single line of code. All right, let's get into the next big fear. And this one's a biggie, especially for small businesses. It's that feeling that automation will strip away the personal touch, right? That you'll become a robot. And this makes total sense. You've spent years building real connections with your customers. The idea of turning that over to a machine feels wrong. But what if that's not what automation is about? What if we're thinking about it completely backwards? This is what we call strategic automation. And the key word here is strategic. Look, the goal is not to replace you. It's to replace the boring, repetitive, soul-crushing tasks so you have more time to be human. More time for those conversations only you can have. So here's the game plan. And it's actually pretty simple. You automate the robotic stuff, sending the same email over and over, collecting basic info, sending reminders. And that frees you up to do the stuff a robot can't do. Actually talking to people, solving their unique problems, coming up with creative ideas. That's where the real value is. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room: money. The too expensive myth. The thinking goes something like this. Automation sounds great, but it's for the big guys with deep pockets. I'm just a small business. I can't afford that kind of luxury. Well, let's run the numbers with a real-life example from a small law firm and see if that's actually true. So before they automated anything, this law firm figured out that just to get a new client set up in their system, it took a paralegal 2.5 hours. That's time, and time is money. In this case, it was $112.50 for every single new client. Okay, so then they looked for a solution. They found a simple piece of software that could do that whole onboarding process automatically. And the cost? $75. Not per client, $75 for the whole month. Now, this is where your jaw might drop. With just 20 new clients in a month, which isn't a crazy number, the firm saved almost $2,200. That's pure savings every month. The software wasn't a cost anymore. It was literally making them money. And get this, they made back their initial $75 investment in less than 2 weeks. That's the real story here. It's not about spending money. It's about investing it to get a massive return, and fast. Okay, so hopefully your head is spinning a bit with the possibilities. We've shown it's not too techy, not too impersonal, and definitely not too expensive. So what now? How do you actually do this? Here is the absolute most important piece of advice. Start small. Seriously. You don't have to automate your entire business overnight. That's a recipe for disaster. This is all about finding one small thing, getting a quick win, and then building from there. And here's how you do it. A simple 3-step plan. Step 1, identify. I want you to literally pause and think for a second. What's that one task you do over and over that you just hate? Got it? Good. Step 2, map. On a piece of paper, just write down the steps for that task. from A to B to C. Super simple. And then, and only then, step 3, explore. Now that you know the exact problem, you can go looking for a tool that solves that one thing. That's it. Identify, map, explore. Get that first win under your belt.
So, I want to leave you with one final question to chew on. We spend so much time trying to figure out how to get more done, how to be more productive. But what if automation isn't about doing things faster? What if it's about asking a much deeper question? What if the one thing that's really holding you back is a task you shouldn't even be doing in the first place?